Hey guys, welcome to the first installment of the UDK 101 tutorials. Today we will be covering level design and the steps taken to create a level. This video series will be split into 4 parts, most likely maybe 5 depending on how long lighting takes. I'll only be covering the very basics. May I point out this? This is not in-depth guide to level design, this is the basics of level design, and you should only take it as that. I'd advise you check out more advanced tutorials on the subject. That'll give you a more in-depth situation. Why does this keep popping up? In-depth description. These will just be the basics of how to create a level. I mean, there's so much more for me to cover. There's like terrain and everything else that we're not going to go into today. So let's get started, shall we? So what I'm going to be teaching you today is how designers, or level designers specifically, design their levels and how they create them in UDK. So the first thing you want to be doing before you even touch UDK is you want to start with a pre-production, and pre-production contains a level synopsis, a brief, prem, and mood boards. Let me just load up a level, pre-production for the level we're going to do today. So give me 2 seconds. Okay, we're back. So this is one of my levels I did for university. It's still not submitted yet, anything. Still needs marking, so I can't tell you how high it got. But what we're going to do is just look at this document I created. This was the level design document we need to create. You need to create one of these for every level you make. So let me just show you. So first off, you start with a premise. So your idea behind the level. For me, I got given an assignment where I had to create a level in a third-person view, which had to be a survival exploration game designed for PC. Okay. So what I thought of is straight away is, so it has to be survival and exploration. Let's go over an earthquake. Let's make it inside a house, and voila. I just didn't really. I really just went with it on this, and I created a little story background here. You need to do just the very basics for this, and then you got the mood boards. And before we got the mood boards, let me do apologize. For some reason, my Microsoft Word is corrupt, and it'll only open. This document will only open in WordPad, so the mood boards are a bit broken. So what I did is I got some mood boards very quickly for how the outside would look, how the inside would look in terms of destruction, what some of the rooms would look like the library, the bathroom, other stuff like that. And then from there on, I made a top-down level using schematics I found online. So when you're making a level, say based around a historic building, look at the schematics for that building and design your level around that. Obviously, we won't be building all this today because that's a hefty amount of work. We'll look solely at the library. So I'm going to build a library today. So this is what I did. I made a top down, basically showing what the house was going to contain, what rooms. And then from there on, I made a level floor pathway showing where the player will actually work their way through. So then to escape, obviously. And then from there on, I made a zoning area. Now there was loads of text here, but it's disappeared because the document's corrupt. But basically broke it down into zones and explained what was going to happen in each zone, like matinee cameras, lighting sequences, player interactivity, all that kind of stuff. We'll go over this in time, don't worry. Don't let me get you swamped down with words. So just bear with me. We'll get there as we go. I'll try and explain as much detail as I can. So for today, like I said, we're going to do the library. So we have our library mood board here that we can look at for reference. So we can see, we know what it needs to look like, we know what the carpet wants to look like. It's very wooden, it has some windows, books as you'd expect in a library, and other stuff like that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open UDK again and got our level open here. There's nothing in this level, but I bet you're wondering, so where do we start? Right, this red box here is going to be the starting. We're going to use BCP brushes to build this. If it's an outdoor level, generally use terrain. If it's indoor level in a room, generally use BCP brushes. So since ours is indoor, we're going to use BCP. I hope I'm saying that right because people will cry if I'm not. I do apologize if I'm not. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to have a look at this this red box here. We're going to use this to create things. So if you see these buttons here called the CSG buttons, yeah? Each of these has a function. You've got an CSG add. As you can see, that's created a solid object there that we can actually stand on. It's got no texture or anything applied to it. We can apply that later on if need be. But that's a solid object there. And we've got one next to it called CSG subtract. Now this is really handy. So for example, if I go like this, just move the box out of line. Let's just get close to that so you can see. So you can see that's not there. And if I click subtract, it removes part of it, so you can get some really nice shapes out of this using these tools. Obviously you have these brushes here, but I recommend, guys, you only stick to the cube brush because these can cause a lot of errors with tries and your polys and everything. So just stick to the cube brush. I mean, yeah, I really don't recommend you use anything else than the cube brush. I'll show you how to edit this so you can get nice shapes, but I really don't recommend you use it. And another tool is, so example, say I have this selected, and I select this one, it'll only select the amount of BC pre-selected inside the brush, which is really nice. It's nice for getting rid of areas that you don't want, you see. See, since that wasn't selected, it wasn't selected there, so we got a very interesting shape. Anyway, let's get rid of all that. So we're gonna build a room now. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is a floor. So let me go up here. This tool here is called geometry mode. You'll need to use this a lot. Now, let me recommend something to you that I learned through a lot of painstaking waiting. If you try and move static meshes or any other object while in geometry mode, there is a chance your mouse will freeze. If it freezes, you'll be stuck there between 2 to 5 to 10 to 20 minutes. And it can get very frustrating. It can even get to the point where UDK crashes. So if you fucking hell, it did it again. Strange. In-tap doctor. I have to have a look at that. Okay, so if it happens, just if you're moving things, make sure you turn this off. This is only generally used to edit BCP brushes, nothing else. For this part anyway. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna click on our BCP brush. Yeah. I do apologize if UDK crashes or any of this happens. I'm using a new mouse and it's on my laptop, so bear with me, guys. Okay, so we got our box selected, yeah? Now we need to make a floor. Now this is too big to be a floor, so we're going to hit the top. So I'm going to select the top. You'll see a red outline. We use the tool to drag that down. Nice like that. And then we're going to click on the side here. And we're going to drag it out. We're going to drag it out here as well. Come on. There we go. Drag that out. Does that look big enough? Maybe a bit more. Let's just drag it out a bit more. There we go. That should be more than enough. Okay, so we have a floor now. Now, if I go down here, I apologize for the loud sound coming, by the way. Just a warning for any of you headphone users. Got that head's made. I'm using a framework given to me by my lecturer. I'll be using his assets as well that he provided for us for our project. So I'll leave a link in the description to his website and his name. I suggest you go check out his website. He does a lot of in-depth tutorials as well, and they're generally a lot better than mine since he has more knowledge on me. I do recommend you go check him out if you want to learn a bit more on level design after these basic tutorials. Okay, so we have a nice floor here. It's massive though, as you can see. There is a lot of area to run on here. So we're not going to build a massive level. We're only going to build a decent sized room, nothing more. Now, what I need to tell you guys is test everything you build. You need to make sure the volume on everything you build is correctly scaled. This character here is about 6 foot. Every hero on UDK generally is 6 foot, which, if I remember right, scales to 96 UU units. It's something close to that now. Try and scale it to that. I mean, you wouldn't have a door that's like 3 times the size of your character, would you? Or 3 times the size in width or height. You need to make sure it's all in aspect ratio. So the best way to test it is to go into the game like this and compare it. Your eyes never lie to you. That's what my tutor said. Okay, so let's get the cube back again. So if we click on the cube brush, let's turn off that so we don't crash the game. Click on the cube brush here again. It'll revert back to its original size. And nicely enough, since we kept it the same height, it's not going to change that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to build a wall. Right, so we're going to click on this again, geometry, edit this, drag that. Actually, no, we want to be doing it the other way. Silly me. Drag the sides. So, like I said, I'm using a new mouse, so I do apologize if this is a bit iffy in terms of clicky. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly. Please don't crash UDK. There we go. Okay. See what I mean? It can happen sometimes. You just got to hope for the best when you're working with crap like this. Alright, so we're just going to come out that. I'm going to drag this over here and see how big that is in terms of ratio. Let's plug it down. And then we're going to play test. I'm showing you guys the basics now. If you look at the size of that compared to an average human, that's quite big for a wall, is it not? I mean, I could understand if it's 2 stories, but hold on, let's get behind it. Let's see. Now, if we put a roof on that, would that look right? For a library. Let's have a look at our pre-production work again, shall we? can see he's got a lot of space there, but it's not a major amount of space. Same with here, you've just got enough for the window. So maybe it's a bit too big. So what we'll do, so we'll go back. I can show you actually how to edit your build now as well. If you've got it like this and you've gone too far to actually undo, if you got the top here, you'll see there's different options here. You got brush wireframe, unlit, lit. I mean, if I light it, then yeah, it's the same thing. Lighting detail, lighting only, lighting complexity, texture density, and shader complexity. Don't worry about these for the time being. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go onto brush wireframe. You see that blue outline? That's the outline you created there. You can actually edit that outline, so long as UDK doesn't crash. We're back. Like I said, UDK can be a pain. But honestly, it's a great software if your computer can handle it. This computer is a bit outdated now. I'm planning to get a replacement pretty soon. Anyway, two things I need to tell you guys I completely forgot to mention. See this red line here? This calls the red line of death. Never build under this line. You will kill your player as soon as he touches this line. He will die. So make sure your build's always above the build. So if you want to do an underground level, make sure it's way up in the sky, because like I said, red line of death. Also make sure your autosave is turned on. If it's not, then you generally get issues like I did. You can toggle it on down there, and it backs up your save every like 10 minutes into an autosave file, which is nice. Okay, so as I was showing you how to edit, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to brush wireframe mode. I'm going to click on the brush, get nice and close to it. We're going to hopefully hope it doesn't crash this time. It didn't, great. Now, if we click on the top like we did with the red brush, we now have the option to scale it down. Nice. So say we want to maybe about here for the wall. We'll test it again. Obviously, I'll be cutting a lot of this out because I don't want the video to run over 20 minutes. So once we've done that, we can go back in here. Cool. And if we click build geometry, it cuts it down. See? So now we'll test this. It's a little too small now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly build a level using the techniques I just showed you guys there. And I'll be back after that. Okay, and several UDK crashes later, and we're back. Yeah, this is why I don't work from home. Okay, so I built a very quick light level. Well, when I say quick, I meant it was an hour because of the crashes, but generally this would have took about 10-15 minutes. If I was doing this for a university project or industry standard, I would have spent a lot longer because you can see errors like right there where it does not line up properly, and you got other things. So let me just quickly pop in. As you can see, I'm not using the framework because it loaded without the framework. I'll have to add that in a second. But what I've done is I've basically gone in, added a few windows, added where I think the bookcases would be, fireplace, writing desk, more bookcases, and a sitting area along with a desk that we've seen in the reference, and a chair. So what we do here, this is what we call white box. This is fully white boxed now, so we know where everything's going to be, and we've even got ceiling in there. Even though it might be corrupt. I might have to look that. When I say corrupt, I mean the brush is corrupt, and when that happens, light can pass through it, and it can cause all kinds of errors when doing your lighting. If that's the case, you can just replace the brush, but it's a pain. Okay, so now we got our level built. What we're going to do now is start adding static meshes in. Now to do this, it's fairly simple. Let me just get off this. I don't know how well my computer will handle this, so I apologize if the frame rate drops. So what we're gonna do, oh yeah, by the way, if it's in lit, your frame rate will die. Turn it on lit, and you get a lot more frame rate, okay? Only in the viewports, it's fine. Lit when you're testing a game. Strange. Okay, so let's get in here. Now, first thing we're gonna do, let's get the desk in place, shall we? Yeah. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna look at the desk, open up our content browser. Let's get rid of the wet snow. Make sure all the packages are installed. If not, then I'll have to cut until they're done. Yep, they are not installed. Okay, I will be back in 5. To install your packages, just click fully load. And we're back. Okay, cool. So our packages are now installed, which is lovely. As you can see, it's just quickly getting them there. Okay, so what we can do, we're going to type desk in here, and it'll pull up all the things with desk. We want to simplify it down to static meshes because we're looking for a static mesh desk. Let's have a look at this. Double click it will open it up in a preview area. You can use your mouse to look around and look at it. As you can see, some of them are hollow like this. Generally, some assets will be like this, just to save on polys and tries. They don't cap the bottom. When that's the case, generally you want to make sure the desk is always up front. So when I was doing my earthquake level, this was a bit of a pain. But I worked around it and just kept applying to the wall, so it's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the collision to start with. Not bound, collision. There it is. So the green line shows the collision. The player can now step on that collision, so it's fine. It has collision, does it? Yep, if it does. If it didn't have collision, I'll quickly show you how to fix that. If you've got a collision here, let me just remove the collision from this. Now in the thingy it'll say, no collision model. So to fix this, all you need to do is drag it, collision, and you can apply a simple one like this. If I turn back on collision, it's very simple. They can't get anywhere in them lines, or you can add a bit more complex ones if you like. So if I can go like auto conversion, I can increase it up, depth, and apply. There you go. See, it sort of adds a bit more detail in the collision where they can and can't go. Okay, so we got our collision back on. Let's close that down. We're going to get rid of this error first. That's just, it happens sometimes when loading packages in. You see, if I had double screens, this would be much easier. Dual screens is a must in my opinion nowadays. Let's find our desk. Drag and drop. Drag and drop. There we go. Now we want to rotate it to 45 degrees as the white box was. It's nice in position. Now, what I want to do now is we want to look at it. Now it's not really big enough, is it? So what we're going to do, first we're going to position it using these here as well. Let's get nicely in a position in the middle. Down a bit. Across a bit. Up a bit. That should be about middle now. Okay, at the bottom here, you see you've got these numbers 1, 1, 1, 1. Now these, you can actually change these and it'll scale the mesh. Generally, I just use this one to scale, but you can use these. This is width, height. Well, I think it's X, Y, and Z, so you know, X, Y, and Z. Yeah. Okay. This is overall. So, for example, if I change this to 2, the desk is a lot bigger. So 1. Let's go 1.2. Let's have a look at that. 1.1 maybe. 1.5. 1. Let's go 1.1 then. Okay, 1.1 should be okay. Let's just plop it in. Make sure it's in nice position. Let's hide this first, so we can actually see what we're working with. Okay. Looks about right. What we're going to do now is we're going to delete the box. So remember what we did before. We can go in here, delete. It's gone. Go back into unlit. Rebuild your scene. And boom. Okay. Now, what we generally do from here is we'll go play from here. Like I said, always test with your eyes. Make sure it's a nice height. Yeah, it looks okay. That's about right. So there's our table in it now. We should, obviously, since I've got the proper framework and we actually can't get up there. But hold on, let's do some parkour here. Voila, there you go. So you can stand on the table and you don't fall through it. That means there's a collision on it. It's nice. What we'll do this is for the entire scene. I'll quickly show you how to do the chair and the fireplace, and then I'll cut and add everything else in, basically. So yeah, let's do the chair now. Let's open up here, find a nice chair. Same thing again. Type in chair. Let's have a look. What have we got here? So we want something that would fit our theme. That looks nice. I think that would definitely fit our theme. If we opened our mood box, sorry. Look at the chair. It's a bit woodeny. Let's have a look. See if we got anything else that might fit. Remember, we want to keep an Edwardian theme. So, what's this one? That's a dining table chair. That could work. Actually, that's from the library asset pack as well. That could work, but I'm more inclined to go with this one here, just because it looks nice. So we're going to use this. If it doesn't fit, we can always use the other one as well. So what you remember, you always want to keep your theme in mind. You don't want to put out place things like you wouldn't find. Let's see, you wouldn't find like a medical bag in a library, you know. So you just gotta keep that stuff in mind. So let's just drag and drop this in. Oh, that's a nice size already. Rotate that 45 degrees so it fits with the chair. I should have really put it in position before you rotate it, but you know, just showing you guys. Okay. So we're gonna. Oh yeah, the yellow boxes and the removal thing. You remember the CSG remove? It creates a yellow box, not red. I mean blue. So that's how you can tell. If you want to get rid of a remove, then just delete this. Forgot to mention that earlier on. Apologies. Scroll down. How are we doing on time? 12 minutes. Okay, we're good. Let's just get this in position. Now it's a bit too small for my liking, because compared to the desk, it's a little bit small. So let's increase the size to let's say 0.2 maybe. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so let's get that to 0.2. What are these? Alright, I forgot to close them down. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is when I get in that. See, this is why I don't like working at home because it's a bit iffy. 0.2. Let's try 0.3. Oh, that might work. We'll tuck it under because that's how chairs generally are. Let me go check to make sure there's no errors. Yeah, that's an error. That has it gone under? Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have to go 0.2 then. Could try 0.25. Just mess around and see what you like the most. I mean, I'm trying to do this as quick as possible because it's just a demonstration. But you know, just find what works for you. Yeah, we're still gonna have that error. Okay, so the chair can't go under. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna pull it out. Place it there, I guess. Nice in there. Okay. Does that look center? Not really. Like I said, I'm going to do this very quick, so I'd spend a lot more time working around with this. Messing with like 0.25, 0.26, 0.27, see what fits the most, but I'm just showing you a demonstration here. Let's get rid of the black and, sorry, the blue and yellow box. If I can select them, there we go. 1, 2, back into lit. Always save your level, by the way, because it crashes. I know I said autosave, but autosave is every 6 minutes, so you can do a lot of work in 6 minutes. So, you know, it's always nice to save whenever you think you need to. Come on, save. It's taking a little while because I've just started importing the asset models, that's all. So, we'll give it a few seconds. If I need to, I'll cut that part out. Okay dokie, it's saved. It turns out it wasn't 12 minutes, it was more like 25. So we're a bit behind. I'm going to try and wrap this up as quick as possible. We'll all cover the other topics in different ones. So there's our table, there's our chair. I'll quickly show you how to put a fireplace in, and then everything else I'll do on my own. What I do need to tell you though, before I do that, is how to actually texture BCP brushes. Very, very, very simple. Load up your content browser. Look for a material. So, for example, we're going to go with wood. So, oh my god, fucking hell. So UDK crashed, by the way, when I was saving. So I'm just going to quickly fully load my asset packs again. Assuming I need to. Yes, I do. Let me just quickly fully load these. But yeah, so I know I don't want to pass over the 30-minute mark because then it's that kind of drags on. So the next video will be when I get my new computer, most likely, so a few weeks. And then I'll cover lighting, Kismet, coding, sounds, and matinee animations and all that kind of fun stuff. It'll be on this level, so it's all good. Alright, so these have loaded in. Let's find a wood texture very quickly. So one nice wood flooring. We don't want anything ugly, so let's have a look. What we got here? It's not bad. So you can make these yourself, by the way. They're very simple to do. Just make sure it's tileable, so it doesn't like have a split. We'll use this one because this one looks okay. So just drag and drop, and boom, there you go. Simple as pie. For walls, so you want a red wallpaper. Red wall. See what we got here. Well, that's nice. We'll use that. Just splash it on. Actually, no, that's ugly. Let's do wallpaper. See what we get. Oh, we have blue and red. Okay. There's the wallpaper I was looking for, actually. Blap that on. Plap. Come on, you bigger. Blap that on. Doop. Doop. And the ceiling, so you want some white. I spelled white wrong. Nice. White. Let's just plop down a. What we have to. A white plastic should do, actually. Should look right. You won't be able to see because it's not lit. That's fine. Okay, so that's how you apply materials. Fairly simple stuff. It may look a bit ugly, but what can you do? Right, I'm gonna quickly add a fireplace and I'll cut to it. The scene completely meshed up. Don't forget you can always add stuff. You don't need to stick to whatever's being whiteboxed. If something doesn't work in whiteboxing, so for example, say when I'm putting the meshes down and I find out there's too many meshes, you can always just delete one. I mean, it doesn't have to be 100% true to the whitebox. Anywho, I'm gonna quickly build this level and I'll get back to you. Oh wait, fireplace first. Okay, fireplace. Let's turn off materials. See what we got here very quickly. That'll do. Drag and drop. Right, as you can see, there's no back to that, so that must be the back. Let's rotate this 180 degrees. There's the front. Nice. Let's get this into position. Get rid of this and let's line it to the wall. Use these to line to walls, by the way. These schematics are really nice. And let's line to the wall near enough. Yeah, it'll do. It's a bit small though, so let's increase it by. Let's increase it by 2. Watch UDK crashing me now. Come on, UDK. What are you typing there? Come on. So I can do this, by the way. There we go. It's only because it's a bit too big. 1.5. 1.45? 1.44? See what I mean by just getting it nice and detailed. 3. That'll do. Okay, 1.43. We'll roll with that. Pull it out. Push it down. And then once again, delete the white box. BCP brushes make for great walls, by the way. You don't need to worry about having a static mesh for a wall. If you'd I'd already figured that one out. Right, let's just quickly do that. Like I said, you always play test, so just added a mesh, go in. Looks a bit too far from there, so I'll probably move it over a little bit. Yeah, can you see that looks a little bit too big? So I'll probably scale that down a bit more. So what I'm going to do is quickly scale that down. Hopefully it won't be a bitch to select again. There we go. Let's put that 3. Let's try 2.5. That's about right. Let's move it over a little bit. So it's more near the desk. Put that plate. How's that look? Yeah, that's about right. Okay. So you see, it's all about messing around with sizes. And that desk, I'm fine. I think I'm fine with that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut to the finished level now. Okie dokie. I spent about an hour doing this, just mocking up. Luckily, UDK didn't actually crash. Speak the devil. Let's quickly say this. So let's have a quick look. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. Let's have a quick look at what I just quickly did with the assets we had at our disposal. Okay, so let's pop in the game. So this is what my level now looks like. If you remember before, we sort of added our bookcases in, got everything there. This is still rushed. I still would have spent another hour or so messing with this, as you can see. We got glass there, nice glass texture. Added some scenery books in, chandeliers, wall mounts, nice little picture, decorationing, writing table. Oh yeah, by the way, you can do command consoles now. If I type in, I think it's stat FPS, it'll tell you FPS. As you can see, this is really bad. Generally, your level should be running at 60 FPS. Now, the reason mine isn't running at 60 FPS is not because of the level itself, it's because of my hard drive and computer. So, yeah, you get the idea. Generally, you want to be aiming with at least green, which is 30. But you get the idea. There's some detail in here. All these are separate meshes, by the way. So, yeah. As you can see, it's rising a little bit. And that's got lighting issues as well, so we'd have to fix that. I think that doesn't even have a mesh. Yeah, it doesn't even have a collider on that, so I need to add that as well. But you get the idea. So I spent about an hour doing this. That's how you detail a level. I'll end the video here because I don't want it past over 30. But the next thing I'll be teaching you guys is how to add in particle effects, sound effects, and just miscellaneous stuff like camera animations, matinee sequences, and then after that it'll be Kismet, and then finally I'll wrap it up with polishing your level and that. So expect a few more videos of UDK for level design in the future. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, thumbs it up. I also did something wrong in this level. I want you guys to see if you can point it out. There's one thing missing that shouldn't be here. If you guys can point it out, then that'd be cool. Anyway, I'll leave it at this. If you like this, let me know. If you don't, then, if you've got any improvements that I could do on this level, feel free to tell me. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm ending the video. Thanks for watching.